Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with the Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do a quick update on the dismal Disney situation.
Yeah, it got worse after the last video.
It did. We recorded a video this morning talking about how Bob Iger is basically running the company now. And Disney is not in a very good place right now. You can check that out. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. But since we recorded that video, it's gotten worse.
Yes.
Disney has decided they're going to take out another $5 billion loan.
Right, from Citibank. But it's a 364-day loan.
Yeah, so
apparently.
So they have to, they have to pay this back in a year?
Yeah, unless they work out some kind of, agreement. They can extend it an extra year if the lender's okay with that.
Oh my God. So how were they going to get $5 billion from?
I don't know. I mean, that's what they did. So they already owed like 7.3 before this.
Yeah.
So now we're talking like over 12 billion in debt. Now, not all of that has to be paid back immediately, but a couple of them are within a year, I believe.
Yeah, a couple are within a year. Now, the first round of financing they got to get them through this, it was $6 billion. Some of it, I guess it matures from 2025 to 2050. And then they went to Canada. And they panhandled around Canada, and they rustled up another $1.3 billion. And
that's due in 2027.
Yeah, now this is like almost like a payday loan.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Was a payday loan.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Oh my God. Okay, so Disney debts keep mounting as they enter $5 billion credit agreement with Citi. According to the filing, the proceeds of which may be used for general corporate purposes. That's always very vague. The credit agreement is unsecured and includes a guarantee by the Walt Disney TWDC Enterprises of the company's payment obligations, which guarantee is subject to release and discharge upon certain circumstances. Whatever the hell that means.
I don't know. It's all a lot of legal speak. They actually have a link here. If you let me see this. They actually have a link here that you can actually see the filing. Here's the actual filing. Now, this was filed last Friday, but it's just now getting reported. So this is as of last Friday before Easter, and it has this information that we're talking about in here, including the interest rates and all of that. For those of you who speak this, all that information is in here after page and page. Like, look at all these.
Oh my God.
Section. So what's going on is now they have another agreement. It's going to mature on April 9th, 2021. So it's not even a year, but they have they can extend an additional 364 days.
So they have up to 2 years to pay this back. Now,
up to $5 billion to borrow. That doesn't necessarily mean 5. It's up to, it said, $5 billion.
So basically, if they need to, they just got a credit card with a $5 billion limit.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And they got to pay it back within a year or two. So this might be their backup upon the back, like their debt offerings were their first line of financing, and if they have to dip into this,
that could be, because I did notice in the wording it said up to $5 billion. So it could be more like a credit line.
All right, so that's not good.
No, it's not good.
I mean, we keep saying about Disney being in a bad place, but this is a company that didn't think anything last year or year before about dropping $70 billion on Fox, which was a completely worthless acquisition.
Exactly.
They didn't think anything of it. Now they're scraping, trying to get $5 billion here, $1.3 billion over here.
Put this in perspective. Weren't the Galaxy's Edge editions $1 billion each?
Yes.
So they spent $2 billion, on Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
On both parks.
And it wouldn't have had time to pay for itself.
No. And then now they're up to over, if they take $5 billion here, up to over $12 billion in loans.
God, this is bad, guys. I mean, and they've stopped construction on everything.
Well, no, they're supposed to be possibly working on the new hotel that was in the River Country. They're working on that, I think it was Reflections or whatever it is, that DVC. So when they're going to start construction again, they're working on a DVC.
Yeah, look, have they learned nothing?
No, they didn't learn anything.
Have they learned nothing? Disney, they keep chasing after the wealthy, and I can tell you, after this thing passes, there are going to be a hell of a lot less wealthy people than there were before.
But the thing is that and the flip side of this, a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford to go because they weren't wealthy and they were laid off for so long that they don't have the money to afford to go. So the people that are going to be able to go are people who were essential workers who, their jobs remained. Yeah. Or people who have money to begin with. Those are the people who are still going to be allowed to go. So of course they're pandering to people with money.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you want to make money, you pander to people with money, but Disney has priced out the middle class for so long now that they're they've been.
The middle class is what they need.
Yeah.
They need a lot, but then the flip side is they have so many people in the parks prior to this. It was like they weren't like stopping letting people in. Like, I mean, I would love to. I don't really love to know. I mean, I'm being sarcastic here, but what a 10 on the scale is, like from 1 to 10, or the crowd calendars, because sometimes there are 10s like at holidays.
Yeah.
And I've been there at like 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
And you
bad.
can't move then. So I don't even know. I don't even want to imagine what a 10 was. They were getting themselves up to those levels by keep letting people in. So the good news is that you can afford to go. The crowds are going to be low.
That is true. And again, we don't know what's going to happen on the other side of this, but the fact that Disney's borrowing another $5 billion. So in 1 month, Disney has scraped together like $12.3 billion. And they might be out there applying for other loans.
Yeah, because we didn't know about this one until days after the fact. It was, they did it Friday, but didn't get announced till Monday.
Yeah, and now, look, they're not the only company doing this.
Oh, no, I was going to, Universal's doing it.
Universal's been doing it. Exxon, I saw a thing that Exxon was doing it too, but Disney is very high profile because they're basically dead in the water at this point.
This is high profile because they made a lot of dumb choices.
Yeah.
And people knew it. And now it's coming back to bite them in the ass. Everybody thought they overpaid for Fox.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they're trying to recoup money because I think after they did it, they realized they overpaid for Fox because they've been selling off divisions. They've been trying to sell off divisions that were tied into Disney or Fox that were redundancies. And it's basically, not coming. They're not getting the money as fast as they wanted to. And now it's bit them in the butt again.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath after the next quarterly earnings call, because usually when they start chopping...
Yeah, that's going to be bad.
It's right after the quarterly earnings report, which comes up, I think, next month, beginning of next month. That'll be because it was February last time. That's going to be interesting, because that is when... I mean, they're already furloughing tens of thousands of workers in the theme parks. They're laying people off in the movie division. And when those numbers come in... It's going to be like, what the hell can we unload?
Well,
quick?
now ESPN is asking their 100 top commentators to take a 15% pay cut. Their 100 top on-air personalities. I'm like, how many flipping on-air personalities do they have?
And there are no sports to comment on. I mean that's the thing.
So they're asking them to take a 15% pay cut. Now, executives were already taking pay cuts that were similar to the ones at the regular Walt Disney Company.
Yeah,
Disney owns ESPN also. And they've been given the 20, 25, and 30% depending on what level you are, vice president, on up.
Yeah.
Now they're asking these people to take a pay cut because they're trying to avoid furloughing the other employees of the company because they're paying so much to these commentators.
Yes.
So that's going on. It's voluntary. Now, they did give them a timeline. It would only be for 3 months. Where Walt Disney Company didn't give their executives any kind of timeline, and that was an issue with people.
So these guys are all represented by a firm, so they probably have a clause that they have to be given an option. They can't just force.
Yeah, right now it's voluntary. Yeah.
So I think there are going to be major changes at Disney across the board, especially after this next earnings call, especially after the year-end fiscal report, where I gotta wonder if the employment terms aren't going to change for a lot of people in different divisions of the company. Now, I don't know whether or not they can, bust up a union or not. I have no idea, but a lot of people were speculating that Disney might be like, well, if you want to come back to work for us, you're going to have to agree to these terms.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to go.
I have no idea.
But I have heard people mentioning they wondered if that's what was going on.
Yeah, and it's going to be different. There are going to be fewer people. They're probably going to look and see like, hey, do we need 100 commentators on ESPN?
Yeah, I was like, why do you need 100 commentators on ESPN?
And they're only the top 100.
That's the top 100. And they said anybody below 6 figures isn't likely going to face a pay cut. So I'm like, how much money are you flipping spending on these commentators for ESPN?
And there are no sports to comment on.
If this was their top 100 commentators, how many flipping commentators do you need?
Yeah, they're going to have to trim the fat. And I think Disney is going to, if nothing else, they're going to be forced to take a good hard look at every division in the company. And they're going to start cutting things that don't make sense. And they're going to cut, I think they're going to cut like crazy in the next 6 months. I mean,
it's going to be interesting to see, but they did take more money out again. This all happened after the last video.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And hopefully the way it reads is up to, which does sound like a line of credit more than it is an actual being given it right then and there. I don't know how this is working, but there's definitely another $5 billion line they can take.
All right, so we'll see. Again, all of this after a month. The parks haven't even been shut down. Well, no, I think today it would have been a month.
Yes, today.
So it would have been a month today, and this thing could go on for several more months. We don't know. And this is how, desperate these companies have become in just a short period of time. So this is insane. So we're going to watch this, obviously. I don't know where things are going to end up. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I'm just like, and you can't see me. I'm sitting here like making this, oh no, look, and then I realized that you can't see me doing that. So there's like dead silence. You're like, what the hell? Why isn't she answering it? I was using body language, but you can't see body language, so I'll answer verbally.
Hey, maybe that Apple acquisition isn't such a stretch after all.
Yeah, at first I was thinking it, but as this goes on, I'm beginning to think maybe it's not.
Because the one advantage that some of their competitors have is that they're propped up by telecom companies. They have other sources of revenue. Apple's still going to sell phones, and they're going to sell downloads, and they're going to sell computers and iPads and all that junk, even when people were in lockdown. But Disney, they're pretty much dead in the water at this point. So.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens.
I don't know.
We need to do something funny tomorrow because there's
it's
too
been
much
a downer, downer of a day. We need to do something funny. So we're going to look into that. Check out
the kids on again.
Yeah, check out the gaming channel. Check out Clownfish TV Gaming.
Oh, yeah. Kneon has some lovely voice talents that he is showing off of his character readings on his Animal Crossing videos.
Okay, so yeah, we're doing that, and we're going to be ramping up the animation channel soon. Got some new equipment coming in the next week or two. Gonna show you guys how to do some digital drawing. That's gonna be on Clownfish Animation, so check that out too. I swear we're not gonna complain about stuff over there. It's just gonna be pure entertainment and education. That's what we do.
Hopefully.
Well, maybe a little bit of complaining. A little bit.
I'm not on there very much, so I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.